friends, and welcome back to the Sweat Simple podcast. My name is Brooks Herbis, and I'm an online fitness, nutrition, and mindset coach who's here to help you simplify and make sense out of the all too confusing fitness and nutrition industry. Let's be real, there's a lot of conflicting information online, and it can be hard to know what's legit and who to trust. In every episode, I'll be sharing the science and psychology behind health, fitness, and long-lasting behavior change. But I'll also be sharing real-life practical application, because all of the best info in the world only matters if you can actually apply it to your real life. So grab a coffee, water, glass of wine, or lace up your walking shoes, and let's dive in. Hello, you guys. Welcome back to the Sweat Simple podcast. We have an early podcast drop this week because I'm sharing something really exciting with you guys, something that I never do at the end of the episode, and I want to make sure that you guys have plenty of time to take full advantage of it. So early drop so that you guys can listen, enjoy, and also fully take advantage of the promo that I am going to announce at the end of the episode. But really just want to dive back in. This is going to be a really, it's meant to be like an inspirational, motivational, let me show you what is possible before the end of the year, because I know that this time of year can be hard. It's October. We start to feel like we have lost track of the year. We don't have like any hope as to making any more progress, but I really want you to know that that is just not true. And maybe if you're on TikTok, you've seen the winter arc trend. And if you don't know what that is, a winter arc is basically when you go like all in on your goals from October to December, instead of falling into that typical holiday slump that most people are falling into. So through the course of this episode, I want to show you how really doing a winter arc or just some sort of focus on your health and fitness goals before the end of the year is very possible. But I also know that a lot of the times when it comes to trying to change your habits, when it comes to, trying to be a little bit healthier, it can feel like you're on an island. It can feel like you're all alone, especially if you are someone who maybe the other people in your life just don't have these same goals, or maybe they don't have the same habits as you. And it can feel really lonely, and maybe you've never even seen anyone start like their fitness journey exactly where you're at and become successful at it. So it's feeling really impossible for you. You've tried to start before and you just haven't seen those results. You're starting to feel like this is a really long journey ahead of you, and you're questioning like if these results are even possible for you. You're starting to wonder if you can even get to where you want to be. Well, what's really cool is that there's actually a psychological principle that shows that seeing other people go through the same thing that you did is a great way to improve your self-efficacy. And if you don't know, self-efficacy is just a fancy way of saying like your belief in your ability to succeed, and your ability to actually reach your goals. And in this case, your ability to actually reach your health and fitness goals. And the more self-efficacy that you have, the more likely you are to actually be successful on your journey. So this principle that can help to improve your self-efficacy is called vicarious experiences. And it's basically seeing that other people who have been successful achieving your goals, especially people who have started in this same place that you are, it can be really beneficial to helping you realize that this is possible for you too. It makes your desired goals and behaviors feel more realistic and more doable. And you guys know I have a certification in health mindset and behavior change. So applying these psychological principles to not just my one-on-one coaching clients, but also to the content that I put out there in the world is really important to me. So what I wanted to do for today's episode is exactly this. I wanted to give you guys a vicarious experience. I want to share with you a real life client example of what's possible for you at the end of the year. Because I know that this is that part of the year where the self-doubt and the what's the point feelings can creep in. I know that a lot of you are at this point of feeling frustrated because you thought you'd be a lot further along in your goals at this point. And like I talked about earlier, you may be feeling like at this point there's no point in trying, so you're just going to throw in the towel until next year. But I really want to show you that there are people out there who have started in this same place of feeling frustrated with themselves, that they're not further along, this same place of feeling like it's October and what's the point in, doing this over the holidays, especially like I can't even navigate this health and fitness journey just on a regular, normal week. How am I supposed to navigate that with Thanksgiving and Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever it might be? It feels so daunting. So I want to show you an exact example of someone who started in October with me, struggling with these same things, and where you could also be at the end of the year. And don't worry, this isn't only an inspirational, motivational episode. I'm also going to give you some really actionable things that I did with this client that you can also take for your own. So let's set the stage. I'm going to be talking about one of my previous one-on-one online coaching clients who started with me last October. Her name's Cassie. So hi, Cassie, if you're listening, thanks for letting me share a little bit more about your journey on this episode. But Cassie started with me last October, so October 2023, which, surprise, again, is the month we're in right now. And really important to me that the example I give you lines up with the current timing of the year, because I want you to see what's truly possible for the next 3 months. Not just like a random 3 months throughout the year, but truly these 3 months that we are in that often feel like the hardest 3 months when it comes to your health and fitness journey. So when Cassie came to me, when she applied for coaching, she was feeling pretty defeated and honestly a little skeptical. She had tried just about everything in the book when it came to fat loss. She had macro counted, she ate really healthy. In the past, like long in the past, she had even tried those really restrictive diets. Like she had done like a Whole30 stint. She liked to work out. She like really enjoyed exercise, and she had even seen success losing weight in the past. But the past few years, fat loss had been feeling really hard. She felt like she was still putting in the work, but she wasn't actually getting anywhere. And I bet a lot of you can relate to that. Feeling like you are working so dang hard, but you are not seeing any results. And when you're not seeing any results, it can be really daunting to want to continue. Like maybe you've even had those thoughts of, am I capable of this? Like, what is the point of all this hard work if it doesn't get me anywhere? If I'm not achieving this like desired result, like why am I making myself miserable in this process if I'm never seeing anything come of it? I want you to know that like truly these thoughts are normal, but in order to make progress moving forward, we really need to get you out of that mindset. I need you to know and believe that it is possible for you. And part of that process, part of that understanding is what you're doing right now. Seeing the other people that have done this, that have been in that same mindset of feeling so stuck, and seeing them achieve their goals so that you know that you can do it too. So I'm going to walk you through where Cassie and I began so that you can start to get some ideas for yourself. You guys know, because you listen to my podcast, that I am all about slow and sustainable changes. No big, like giant lifestyle overhauls. So that's exactly what my coaching process is. And through working with hundreds of women to help them lose fat and keep it off, I've actually developed a coaching framework to ensure that, again, my clients aren't just reaching their goals, but they're maintaining it long term. So it's called the AIMS approach, and it's broken down into 4 phases: awareness, integration, mindset, and sustain. AIMS, AIMS for awareness, integration, mindset, and sustain. Are we keeping with it? Are we sticking with the process? So first phase is always that awareness phase. And this is where, for Cassie, I learned all about her and what her goals were. I always like to say you are the boss of your own life, and it is so important to me that you have autonomy, that you have buy-in to this process. Like, how can we set you up with a program that's going to work long term if I don't know what your current lifestyle looks like? So, the first step was really identifying where Cassie was currently at in her journey and where she wanted to be. What did she feel like was holding her back from getting there? So, for Cassie, and maybe for you, it might be this or it might be something else. For Cassie, though, that awareness piece, that starting to understand like what was holding her back, why was fat loss feeling so hard, it was realizing that she did really well Monday through Thursday. Like her fitness goals, she could crush, not even just like Monday through Thursday, but just in general until she got stressed and overwhelmed. As soon as she got like busy or had a really tough day at work, or she just had a week where she had a lot of like social events going on, everything was falling to the wayside. Health and fitness became the last thing that she could like give attention to. And through our time together, she realized that there was a lot of all or nothing, black and white thinking happening. She was either on track or off track. There was truly no in between. She was either being perfect or she was falling all back to all those old habits. There was no sort of balance, even though that's what she was really hoping to achieve. And on top of that, with the holidays coming up and all of those like really fun events, she knew that she needed to work on these things now because she didn't want another January 1st where she felt like she was starting over at square one yet again. And how many of you can relate to that? To feeling like every single year you are setting the same goals around fat loss and you are just so sick of it. You are so sick of feeling like the holiday season is just one long splurge and you can never seem to get yourself out of that cycle. So that first step was the awareness piece with Cassie, really identifying that the busy, stressful, all or nothing thinking was what was holding her back. So then we move into the integration phase. And this is where, for Cassie specifically, I set her up with personalized calorie and protein recommendations so that she could start learning how to properly fuel her body for fat loss and body recomposition without certain foods needing to be on and off limits. So she started to learn through this integration phase, through having some sort of target that she was looking to hit. She really started to learn what and how much she could eat regardless of where she was. Because previously she was on that track of like, I'm either on track or I'm off track because she had foods that she thought were healthy and unhealthy. And if she couldn't eat those healthy foods, she really didn't know what to eat. So next step was really giving her that education so that she could start to understand not just like what do I eat when I'm at home and can like perfectly follow my healthy meal plan, but also what are the sorts of things that I can eat when I'm out with my friends or when my friend has a potluck. What are the sorts of things and what are the portion sizes I can have at those events so I can still reach my goals. So that education piece was really key so that she could find more of that balance she was looking for and not treat every single meal out as a really special occasion. So even just from that awareness and setting her up with the personalized nutrition plan, she started to see some progress immediately. The scale was dropping. She successfully navigated happy hours with her friends while staying with her calories. She even started strength training again, following a more specific program instead of only doing group fitness classes. And on top of that, because she was feeling so good in all these other areas, she was doing a better job of managing stress. So just bringing more awareness to what she was eating and having the accountability of checking in with me on a regular basis was helping her already to be more successful than she had in the past. But this is where most coaching processes end. They give you the education, they set you up with a plan, and they say, good luck. But my clients aren't looking for a quick fix. They want changes for life. So that awareness, that integration, that education piece, that's just step one. Because as we know, it's easy to stick to our goals or habits when life feels normal. But when we're just like going about our day, it can feel easy to start to implement these little changes. Like when things are easy and not stressful, it's easy to meal plan and prep and track all of our calories and have more of that like perfection mindset. It's when life gets busy, when we have a lot of social events, when we're out of our routines, that we can start getting into that screw it, I'll start over on Monday mentality. And full transparency, Cassie was no different. My clients are not perfect. They are not any different than you are. They struggle with these exact same things. Cassie had that same mentality around weekends, around meals out, but she, when we started working together, was determined to ditch this all or nothing mindset, which is frankly the bread and butter of my coaching, is helping you work through these deeper mindsets that have held you back from seeing long-term success in the past. So this is why the next phase of my coaching framework is M for mindset, because we need to start working through some of these deeper things. We need to start ditching the all or nothing thinking, the perfectionism, because as you know, when life is not perfect, the education, the awareness is not enough. We really need to go one step further so that you can still have success even when life is busy and even when you can't be perfect. So for Cassie, we started working on her throw in the towel mentality at restaurants. I really challenged her to think about why she was throwing in the towel in those moments. What were the thoughts she was having? What was she feeling? What was really happening in those moments? And this mindset part of the coaching framework is so individualized, because true mindset coaching, not just like woo-woo journal prompts that I have seen out there, but true mindset coaching is not a one-size-fits-all or a step-by-step process. It takes a lot of personalized questions to get you to start digging deeper into some of these things. One of my favorite things that I love is when a client comes back to me and goes, "Ooh, good question," or "Oh, you asked the best questions," because that's how I know that we're getting to the deeper things. We're really starting to get into the root of the issue rather than just that like surface level, like, did you hit your calories? Did you not this week? So with Cassie, I started to ask a lot of those questions. And pretty soon she started to realize that it was possible for her to go out to eat and not have an all-out splurge. She was able to kind of start to check herself and realize she wasn't messing up just because of one thing she ate. She didn't need to throw in the towel for the rest of the day, the rest of the weekend. So once we really locked her mindset in, we were able to move into the final part of my coaching framework, which is sustain. And we don't just want to lock in these habits for the next 30, 60, 90 days. We want to lock in these habits for life. So in the sustain phase, we identified the few key things that were helping her to be more consistent. Things like, meal prepping for busy weeks, and really lock those in. Now, because of all of this, because of the awareness, the integration, the mindset, the sustain, this holiday season, this 2023 holiday season, Cassie treated very differently than she ever had before. In the past, she basically threw in the towel the entire month of November to mid-December because there were so many times when she couldn't be perfect. So when she was like looking at the month and she was like, I have all these events going on, I can't be perfect at all these events, so I'm just gonna like stop until January. But because of all the mind work that we had done leading up to Thanksgiving, honestly, because we had a full solid month from mid-October to mid-November to lock in this mindset work, because of our work to ditch her all or nothing thinking, this didn't happen last year. She realized that the holidays and the special events were actually just a few days out of the whole month. And she really started to feel comfortable with having 2 cookies without needing more. If she had a holiday party night out, she got back to it the next day, but she actually allowed herself to also enjoy those holiday parties without guilt. She didn't overeat at Thanksgiving. She didn't leave with that really uncomfortable feeling, like almost sick, like she had in the past, because at that point, she knew how to listen to her fullness cues. She knew how to stop eating when she was full. And she didn't feel the need to overeat just because it was a holiday, because she knew she could have a lot of those foods really whenever she wanted. She could still have the Thanksgiving leftovers and incorporate it into her more nutrient-dense meals. And most importantly, after all of these events, she didn't have that guilt or that feeling of messing up, which was the key difference. Now, instead, you may notice, instead of doing some giant overhaul of her life and like restricting a million things like she had always done in the past. What we did instead was set her up to be eating in a way to properly fuel her body for her goals. We started to give her the education about the foods and drinks so she could make informed decisions about what she wanted to eat for herself. We really helped her plan areas she was struggling with, like meals out and the holidays in general. And we gave her that accountability piece, which a lot of people are missing, because who cares to follow through when you know it's just you in there and you're the only one holding you accountable? It feels a lot easier to follow through when you know that you have a coach or someone who is actually paying attention to you, who wants success for you, who cares about you and how well you're doing. It holds you a lot more accountable. And I share all of this because I just really want you to know that this is possible for you too. I want you to see that you can be really busy, you can be stressed with work, you can have a social life, you can be feeling nervous about the holidays and feel like you just can't get yourself to do these things and still overcome all of that and see amazing progress. And I am so incredibly proud of all the progress Cassie made last year, because it is not always easy changing your habits, but I am obsessed with my job. That is one thing you guys should know about me. I love that I get to wake up every morning and help women go all in on their health so that they can feel happier, healthier, more confident every single morning when they wake up. So I told you guys that I was going to have a fun, exciting announcement, which is why this podcast was dropping early. So I am so excited, because if you vibed with this episode, if you were nodding along, like, this is me. I am Cassie. I am worried about the holidays. I am good until I can't be perfect. I have no idea where to go from here, but I know my mindset is one of my biggest issues. I am so excited because I am running a promo on my one-on-one online coaching. And this is something I rarely do. Like, I haven't run anything like this since last year. This is actually the biggest promo I've ever run. So currently it is 10:15 when this episode comes out. And if you apply for one-on-one coaching before October 21st, you will receive a free month of coaching if you sign up for 3 months. If you sign up for 6 months of coaching, you get 2 months free. Huge. Up to 2 free months of coaching, depending on how long you come and work with me. 2 completely free months. And again, I never run sales like this. So if this resonated with you, if you've been thinking about working with me, now is the time. I would love to work with you in a one-on-one capacity to help you make these same changes that Cassie saw before the holiday season. So the link to apply to my coaching program is in the show notes, or you can shoot me a direct message on Instagram. Applying for coaching does not lock you into anything. It just helps us get the conversation started, but you must apply before 10/21 in order to get the promo. On top of that, because it is just me, myself, and I doing the coaching behind the scenes, I have limited capacity because I give my coaching clients everything. So I only have 5 spots open. The sooner you apply, the better chance you have of getting to take advantage of this promotion. So whether or not you apply for coaching, I hope this has given you some serious faith that yes, this is possible for you too. And you're ready to not throw in the towel these next 3 months, but enter into your winter arc and crush your goals before January even hits. If you have any questions about coaching or this episode in general, you guys know you can always shoot me a direct message on Instagram. I would love to hear from you. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you for supporting. I so appreciate it. And I will talk to you all soon.